All right, good evening. So I've been working on this extrusion metal for a little bit, and it's kind of hit or miss trying to get the supporting parts in. So what I ended up doing, so we had to take the rails out that came with the truck so that we could put these guys on. So that gave me a place to screw to. So I ended up using one of the 90-degree connectors, and then I went to Home Depot and I got screws that would fit that. So they're M8s, 20 millimeter for the screws, and I put this in, and that's nice and solid. And I only did it halfway over there because I'm not planning on doing anything to build out on this side. And then I got the top brackets in. So to make this brighter, there we go. So I got the top brackets in, and then what I've decided, the space, I don't have as much space right there as what I thought I would to mount the diesel heater, which is where I wanted it. So what I'm thinking I might do is just build out this portion, slide these guys over here, and put the diesel heater where that battery is sitting on the far side. That being the reason is because I can run the exhaust straight out the side over there. On this side, I have my fuel tank, my gas filler, and a bunch of stuff here. But on the other side, there's nothing. So I could actually, I have a full area here that I could just put a little hole through, run that exhaust straight out the side right here, and it wouldn't get in the way or make any difference whatsoever. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. This piece is not screwed in yet, so I'll have a piece that'll go all the way across, and then I'm going to have some down pieces to give it support, and then a couple pieces in the middle, and then I'm going to devise some way to put little cubby tops to go on top of these that'll like have a magnetic closure or something like that. But I'm going to shift these batteries all the way over there, put the diesel heater right here with the exhaust vent of the heater. I'll mount it up probably kind of high so that the exhaust can go right out the side here, and then I'll have the fresh air, taking fresh air from inside, because there's so much holes in this thing that it can easily get fresh air. And then the exhaust, I'll come over here, and where this is, we'll have a wood panel, the exhaust will come out here, or the heat duct that's blowing out heat will come out right here. And then I can also, I'll have room to have a fresh air intake on this side, so it'll be fresh air in, fresh air out. And then when I want to use it, I'll bring in just a little fuel tank and just set it right here, and then it can just suck the fuel right into it. And then I'll probably put some wood on the back side of this so that I can screw all my electronic components to it, and it'll have wood on this side as well. So so there'll be probably a piece of 1/2 inch right here. So that cuts down the space just a little bit. It's still going to be pretty tight, but I won't actually, maybe I should put that wood in there before I decide. So I got about 4 inches there, so it can slide over a little bit. It'll be fine. I just don't want the batteries on top of those bolts. I'm going to get battery trays to screw to the platform so that the batteries will be strapped down, and that'll keep them secure. And then I'll probably put some of this bracing in between the batteries just to keep them right where they're supposed to be. But yeah, I think it's going to work out good. I think this stuff is nice and solid for sure, and that's not even reinforced yet. I took these out here because I had the elbows up there, but what was happening is it was making this 1 inch lower than the rest of the rails, and I wanted it to be the same height all the way around. And being lower like that, it would actually, I wouldn't be able to put a lid on here very easily because it would be 2 different heights. So I didn't really want to do that. So I took those out. I left these guys in because I'm going to do crossbars here. What I didn't do is I didn't put some on this side, so I'm going to have to take this loose and put some nuts on the track so that I can get it, so I can screw to it. And that'll be that. And then yeah, so you know, the thing is that it's hard to do all this in your mind when you don't really know the dimensions or how things are going to lay out. So once you start building it and kind of see what's taking place, you can kind of run with it and start seeing how it's going to work. So the reason I had the batteries on this side is because the battery on the truck is on this side. It would be a straight shot, but it's no big deal. I'll just run a couple more feet of wire and have it come out over there. There's some grommets down there in the bottom that I can push out and have the wire come up through from the battery. And then in here we'll have the 2 lithium batteries. We'll have a DC to DC charger. We're going to have a 500 watt inverter that we're going to put in, and then I have 2 12-volt outlets, a USB outlet, and like an on-off switch, and then the lights will wire in through that as well. But there's plenty of wire for all that. So the fridge is right here. So I was originally thinking that, you know, the outlets would be right here, so the fridge could just plug right into it. And originally I thought the batteries were going to go this way, but there's just not enough room unless I just want to do 1 battery, which I really don't. I really would like to have the 2, just in case I don't drive the truck for a few days. I'm not going to put solar on it right away, so yeah, but this will give me enough room to have my batteries, all my components, my charge controllers, and the diesel heater all in this one little area. And then that'll be nice because that'll always be tucked away and be there. I do lose a little bit of footage on my truck bed that way, but it'll also be a nice seat. You know, you can climb in here and sit down, so that's kind of cool. Somebody could sit on the cooler, and then somebody could sit on the rack here, because they're going to have some vertical pieces here that'll support this, so it'll definitely support somebody's weight. It'll probably support your weight right now. It's pretty robust. So anyway, all right, well, I've been working hard getting the inside of this camper built out, and I just looked at the video footage that I had, and somehow the files got corrupted, and so I lost the last 3 videos of the build out, and there's really nothing I can do about it because it's already built. So let me turn you around and show you what we've done. All right, so this is the build out. Let me unlock it, hang on. There we go. So I apologize. My neighbors have yap dogs that just bark all the time. There's nothing I can do about it. All right, so I ended up putting the extrusion on both sides. I bought a water tank that will actually mount right there, and that's why I went ahead and did it on that side. Over here, we got this one. I have the ladder just bungeed, which works quite well for that space. We climb up inside. Real quick, I can turn on the lights, because now we have lights. This has 2 12-volt outlets here and here, USB-C connectors, and I can turn that off, and that shows me what the batteries are. This is a disconnect, which is, I turn that, it turns off all the power, so that's cool. This is the diesel tank for the diesel heater, and what I'm thinking of doing, I ran out of extrusion, but I want to build a platform on top of it just to kind of cover it, and that way it won't slide or anything when I'm driving. But then my other thought is I could take my little cassette toilet and set it right on top of there, and it kind of give you like a toilet at normal height for doing your business inside. I put a little 12-volt outlet right here for the fridge, and then in this cubby here is the diesel heater. Okay, got everything running there the way it's supposed to be, and then it runs out the side of the truck like I said. Okay, and right now these just set in there, and then this one here has my 2 lithium batteries. You can see that it has my fuse box, it has the DC to DC charger, and then right over here, this is a little 500 amp inverter that's mounted there on the side, and then that's the kill switch, which will kill power to everything. So it's all kind of tucked in there, kind of nice and neat. The paint is actually Gorilla rubber paint that I sprayed on all this, and yeah, I think it'll work pretty good. It should wear pretty well, and it's actually, if anything drips on it or whatever, it'll just come right off. But yeah, I think it turned out good. The lights actually have 2 settings, so you can have red or white, which is cool. The diesel heater, this is the outlet. See that? And I just have it going through a little crack right there, but this will actually stay up top. And then this is the short board I was telling you about, and so it lets some of the tent fabric kind of hang here, but this is what will allow the heat to come right up inside the camper. So it's all pretty straightforward, and I think it turned out pretty nice. A couple things I still want to do is I want to get a tailgate board, because this kills your knees. I want to get a rug or a mat or something to put in here, because this being bed liner actually kills your knees as well. My plan is to mount the water tank there, and it's one of those pressurized water tanks. All right, so here's the tank installed. It's I think it'll be okay. It's pretty solid. A little bit more extrusion down on the bottom. If it only has 2 bolts holding it to this, so we'll see how it does. Worst case scenario, I can mount it to those beef bars up on top, and then that way it would actually get some sun and actually heat up, so you could use it as a shower. But yeah, it's got a nice plate. It fits in here, and then it's got those 2 quick release bolts up on top that has a hole in the middle. You can't really see it here, but this little slot has a little opening to where you get the nuts down in there. I had to shave off the heads just a little bit to get it in there, but looks good. And then here's where the water goes, and then this is where you fill it with air so that you have pressurized water. So that's pretty cool. I think that's gonna be nice. So as long as it can hold the weight, it'd be nice to actually put it right there, which it might fit. So we'll see how it does. We'll do this trip with it right there, so it should be fine. And then I got the quick release hose here, which you can just plug in right there. That'll snap back in and hold it, and then we have just a way to wash dishes or do whatever, so that's cool. And then the other thing that came in was this extra long hose for the muffler, and this nice little vent, which I'll drill a hole in there, put this vent in, tape it up, and should be good to go. That'll be the last thing I need to do. So I'll actually have an air compressor to put air into it, and then I can mount or slide my my toolboxes that I have all my kitchen stuff in, and then that's all I'll really have back here. And maybe I'll bungee the kitchen stuff to that extrusion right there so it doesn't move around, and then the dog will have a place to sleep back here while I'm sleeping up top. So that's that. You know, the fridge is on that slide, works good. It's 36 degrees inside there, it's full of water, so that's just been running. But yeah, I think it came out quite nice. I have the little Bluetooth device there that goes to the DC to DC charger, so it tells me what's charging. I'm not 100% certain that it's working like it should, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I probably will end up putting one of those really thin solar panels up on top just to have that extra little bit of juice coming in. But until these batteries die down, I'm not going to do anything. I want to kind of test it out for a few days and see how it does. But that's the build, and it took me better part of 4 days, I guess, to do it. I probably took this apart at least 3 to 4 times to slide more nuts in, because I had other pieces that want to go in there. On these here, these pieces are actually 1 inch lower, and it basically gives us something to brace it to, so if you want to sit here, it's actually really strong. And you know, this thing is just rock solid. It's not going to go anywhere. And I use Loctite on probably 90% of the nuts, if not 95%. There's a couple there, here and there. I ran out of Loctite and I just went ahead and put it on, but I think it's going to be good. Up on the top, I'm not going to pop it right now because it's supposed to start raining. I added a, let me turn you around. So up on the top, I added a 3-inch memory foam. They're 25 inches wide because the platform is 50 inches wide. So I ordered 2 of them, and they actually tri-fold, so they'll actually fold up and store up towards the front if you're wanting to open up this whole top. And they're 3 inches thick. They're pretty comfortable. So I got those to replace the mattress that was in there. I can throw a sheet on both of them and make it into a one nice bed. I think that with a sleeping bag, just regular sleeping bag, I don't even need like a warm one because I have the diesel heater. This is a 2-gallon fuel tank, so that would run for 2 days straight just off of that, and that'll keep it nice and warm up there. Let me show you the muffler. Hang on. All right, so that's where you can even see it. It's all black, but this is the muffler coming out, and you can see it right there. And then I have an extra extension that I'm putting, and actually that was the one out of the toolbox that I built, and I cut it, so I actually ordered another one that's longer, that'll extend out further, because I want to get it to where it blows out away from underneath the vehicle. Because before I had it blowing, but it was blowing on this mud flap, and I don't want it to melt anything. So, but I put exhaust wrap on there, so that way when it's coming out, it'll actually not overheat inside here. And then the only thing I have left is I have a vent that I ordered that's going to go right here, and then I have an extra vent that I'm going to put in to allow fresh air to come in, because it's going to be sucking air. And then in the back of this, you know, it's all open, so air can actually flow through pretty well. There's a board here, but the tops are open. There's no board back there, so it's actually completely open. And then, you know, there's an inch or 2 gap over here on this side, and all around here there's gaps, so air can actually get in there pretty easily. But I am going to put an extra, just a little vent, so that it can suck fresh air in, and that actually makes it more efficient when it's warming air that's already warm. It doesn't have to heat it as much, so it actually works quite well. But we're going to go out on Monday and spend a couple days out, and we'll see how it performs and how it does. I think we'll have plenty of power. We'll have cold food. You know, we'll put the stove and everything in here, and we'll make some food out on the campground. I actually have a tailgate seal to go around here to seal the tailgate, and then I'm going to take little grommets and plug in the bigger holes, so it's actually, you know, kind of sealed in here a little bit. But yeah, I think it came out good. Other than having power, having a fridge, and having heat, those are the main things that I want when I'm camping, because I want to be able to have my food cold whenever I want it. I also don't have to worry about powering everything. So with 2 lithium batteries, this thing should run several days without even the truck running, so it should work fine. And then the diesel heater is always in the car, and it's always available, so no matter where I go, I can always just heat the place up, so that should work well. yeah, but that's really it. Um, that's the build out, and we're gonna film a little bit this weekend when we go out, or this next week when we go out. So we'll see what happens, and we'll keep you updated on that. But I love having all this extra space and a place to get inside that's not as small as the Jeep. So I think it's going to be quite nice. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.